Hi, folks. We're uh, we're in Thursday at 3:13 of 25. That's March the 13th of 2025, and we're losing money by the day in the stock market. and I'm looking forward to doing this tonight to encourage you because I know exactly how a lot of you all have been feeling. Like, should you get out of the market? Should you go into fixed income like a CD? Uh, should you go into dividend stocks? I know that because I've been in the stock market since I was 14. And I hate to say it, but I'm 76 now. And this is not the first rodeo, by the way. I've been in so many downward shifts. This is just a bump in the road. But for the people out there that aren't my age or older, this scares you. A 10% drop, 15% drop in the stock market, you think, oh my God, what do I do? Well, you do this. I got my seatbelt put on today. I put the seatbelt on because it's going to be a rocky road. Rough and rocky for a few more days. Maybe not. Things may skyrocket tomorrow. Or we may have another week or two or three of this, or a month. So hold on tight. Pretend like you're on one of those roller coasters. Do you know how it feels when you go down on a roller coaster? That's how many of y'all are feeling right now. You're feeling like, oh my God, I better hold on tight or I may fall off. Well, here's the thing. Let me get my Coke. It's scary. I've done it. Kings Island in Cincinnati, other places, Disneyland, Disney World. I'm still alive. Scared to death when I was on it, especially during the rapid falls. Let's put this here where I can get to it quick. So let's do this. That's Diet Coke without caffeine. Without caffeine, because it's late at night. So we've established first. I'm going to do these things. I'm not recommending that you do any of it, but I'm putting the safety belt on, not too tight. I don't want to hurt. But I've been down this road many times. And I'll never forget. It seems like it was yesterday, but it was just 2 years ago or three. I'm at Bob Tibbs's house. He's a friend of mine. He's 96 now. And I'm sitting there showing him the stock market and how it works. And by golly, about 1 or 2 hours before the end of the trading day, everything started falling. And I thought, what can I sell? what can I sell to get out of and go back in the market tomorrow? It was falling so much. This was about 3 years ago, I suspect. It was falling so quick, I couldn't punch the sell button, because if I punched it and the stock was 40, there were so many orders to be filled, it may not be filled till it hit $5. Nobody explained what happened. Computers were involved. When the stock goes down so much, some of these universities and businesses will have it to where it sells the stock out completely. For the most part, I think it was individuals that got scared, like on a roller coaster, but they didn't know they were going to land like you do on a roller coaster. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and I had never seen anything like this before. I don't know if you happen to be watching the stock market that day. Things were falling dollars per second. And of course, I turn on the news when I get home. I don't sell anything, of course. Let me tell you why. You put a sale in at $30, and there's so many sales in before yours, it may sell at $5. So I put my seatbelt on then. We're not moving. Nobody could explain it. Whether it was a glitch in the computer system or what. I mean, I turn on the TV, listen to CNBC, which is the CNBC, the news network for the stock market. Was I concerned? I can't even remember. I didn't like dropping my stocks to half the value or 40% of the value. Thank goodness at 4 o'clock it stopped falling, because that's when the stock market closed. Okay, we lived through it. I can't exactly tell you my feelings during the time that it was recovering, the stock market. And it didn't take that many days to recover. And this is the good news I want to share with you. I have found through all these years that when the stock market falls, nobody knows when to get back in. Now, you may have financial advisors, stock brokerage accounts, advisors telling you to sell out, get out of the market right now. We don't know what's going to happen. Hey, guess what? They probably don't have half the number of years I've had in the stock market. And they're giving you advice to get out of the stock market. And they may have not ever gone through a downward swing of the market, but they're telling you to get out. Guess what they don't tell you? Never have I heard a person that sold out of the market because of a downward swing, a drop of 10% or so, like we have now. I have never heard of a broker or advisor telling the person when to get back into the stock market, or to ever get back into the stock market. And they're locked in where they sold out, and they're watching their stocks go back up to where they were and up more. Well, when you think about it, why should they know anything? They're humans. They're allowed to make mistakes. They may not have ever gone through a 10 or 15 or 20 or 35 or 40% drop and watch it come back up again. So here's the phone ringing, telling everybody to get out of the market, but never telling them when to get back into the market. Never, so they don't go back in. I just talked to two people just tonight, and when they got out of the market, they were told to get out of the market. When they got out of the market, they never got back into the market. And since then, that was 2008, since then it's probably tripled. It's definitely probably doubled from when it started falling. But if they'd tightened their seatbelt and gone through the 40 to 60% drop in 2008, some stocks fell 40, some fell 80. I had several go bankrupt on me, so I got zero on some of them. But I tightened the seat belt so I wouldn't fall off. Yeah, I was scared, daggone scared. I borrowed money to start buying stocks again at 33 cents a share, 95 cents a share. I've shared that in the last two videos. I was buying stocks way below $1. In fact, I wouldn't consider them unless they were $1 or less. That was the Templeton plan. John Templeton, who became a multi-billionaire living in the Bahamas, and he just bought every stock he could that was $1 or less, and whether or not they were in bankruptcy. He came out and he started all sorts of funds. Of course, he died probably $2 billion. John Templeton, look him up. He wrote some books about this too. He sold out to, when it came time for him to settle up with life, he turned his funds over to the Franklin funds. So if you go to Franklin funds, you'll see Franklin Templeton funds. Okay, now here's what my advice is today. Today I didn't buy a single thing. Yesterday I don't think I bought anything. The day before I bought 3 more shares of Apple. I don't buy too much at a time when the sky's falling in. So here I am looking at the stock market today and the positions I own. And I said, there's not a daggone stock I don't want to keep. Now this is the most important thing you'll ever hear from an advisor or a stockbroker. The stocks that you own are not sheets of paper. I had an email about that. I had an email that said, why don't you get out of paper and go into gold and silver? Do you have a Kroger store in your area or Walgreens? How about Walmart? When you buy their shares of stock, and Walgreens been going up, by the way. I think Walgreens has too, in spite of the fact that others have been going down. You're not buying paper, buddy. I can buy paper. I'm looking in the box right now that I use in a copy machine. I can buy that from Amazon for $5 or $10. Lasts me for months. When you buy a stock, you're buying part of the company. If you'll just realize this, the stocks you own right now are company stocks. And you own part of that company because you own shares in that company. So why would you burn the paper, which is selling out your stocks? Because someone says the companies are going broke. Do you think Kroger is going to go broke, and Walgreens and CVS drugs? You think they're going to go bankrupt tomorrow? Well, why would you sell their stock then? Well, those are three companies I wouldn't sell. I don't own those three. And then I own a lot of Apple, and got an email about that I own too much Apple. It's been going steadily down. It's done that before. It's done that many times before. Did you know there's a community of people worldwide that will only buy Apple products? And we're allowing rumors that we can't sell Apple products in China, therefore let's just dump the daggone Apple stock, and it's fallen $30, $40 a share in the last week. That happens to be most of what I have. And I'm sitting there thinking, when Christmas comes, everybody's going to be asking their parents to buy them the new Apple products. Apple Watches, Apple, they have something on the watches where you can contact your doctor. It's got a health mechanism in it. I'm not sure if you'd call that a watch or if it was in a watch, but you got a whole health department in one of their products that you can wear, so you can see how you're doing. But and I don't know the name of that. That came out a couple years ago. But I have an iPad here, and the iPad I bought so many years ago, I can't find anyone to replace the batteries. And I hate to say it, but the only part I liked on it was the GarageBand. And this is it. That's the only product I own, even though I own thousands of dollars worth of their stocks. Okay, now the reason I'm saying that is to say that I could have bought Apple at $10 once. I mentioned that in a recent video the last 2 days. And I'd be a multimillionaire if I'd have loaded up on it then. And at the same time, IBM was $10. I thought the whole personal computer sector had gone bankrupt. Right now, IBM is one of the main stocks that a lot of people are going into because of the safety, the dividends, and they're into this artificial intelligence. And I mentioned that. The reason I bought this was I like the Garage Band. I don't know if we can get it on right now or not, but we're going to give it a try. Or maybe the battery's still good. It's just loading my song. So you're buying. Don't sell your paper. You're owning the company. You're owning the company. So why would you just say, heck with the company, I don't want anything to do with it again? Let me slow this baby down. The thing I love about this, I can create my own music. This is about a 7-year-old iPad. That's better, isn't it? So for you all that want to start with one recommendation, if it was me, I would buy 1 share of Apple tomorrow. I think it's APPL is the symbol. And you can buy it with no commission if you go with Fidelity Investments. That's cool. I always wanted to become a singer. And I played guitar for quite a while. But I tell you what, I was going to take lessons again. And I found the iPad. I have to take this to Seymour, Indiana to get a new battery put in. That's why I haven't used it for years. Okay. Let's turn this baby off. How do you turn this thing off? I don't use it enough to know where the on and off switch is. I think I got it. Okay, baby. You do your own thing. So, can you get your Android phone to do that? Can you get Google to do that? You see why Apple is an innovator, and why recently it was the #1 stock in the United States as far as worth. And we've had a bunch of people say, oh my gosh, the Chinese won't let us sell Apple. Did you know Chinese people are flying into New York buying Apple products? And I know this because I have a relative that works in a New York, one of the New York Apple stores. Okay, so much for Apple. I'm not going to recommend anything. You heard me say, you know, Apple and IBM aren't so bad. If I was just going to close my eyes, and I don't know what IBM is, I don't own it, but you start off with 1 share. And then you watch what happens to that share the next day on the internet. Now, what I want to leave you with is this. Did it shut itself off? It got through with a song on its own. Daggone. You can tell this isn't scripted, can't you? The rodeos aren't so bad after you go through about 7 of them. And you come out higher each time. But here's the part that's important. Not only do you own part of the company, not just a piece of paper, not only do you own part of the company, but when that stock market stops going down, it's been my observation, it will skyrocket so fast you won't know how to get back on because you can't buy the stocks for the same price you sold them at. I'm going to repeat that after this drink. The reason you want to keep your seatbelt on is because any day now, the stock market may decide to skyrocket. And if you've sold your companies, if you've sold your company stocks, they may take off faster than you can buy them back at the same price you sold them at. And then a month or two later, you see that they may be 10 or 20% higher than they were when they fell. Well, do you know why people get so scared and get out of it and don't become a millionaire or when they could easily by hanging in the same stock if it's the right stock or stocks? It's because they listen to the advisors on TV and they listen to the advisors that they may have contracted with. And they told them, get out of the market or be too cautious or sell while you have a gain. But they don't tell you when the bottom has hit. And they don't tell you when the market starts going up faster than a roller coaster went downward. So my advice to myself, not to you, but to myself, I got a seatbelt on. I'll laugh at all the bad news that's on TV. We can go into that a little later about why that bad news is being created. Why I think right now they're pounding Apple stock into the ground. There's something called whales. These are huge people, not in size, but in money. And I got the idea that some of them know each other. They may take a big stock and say, let's dump our shares tomorrow. And then buy them back in a day or two after they've fallen $10 or $12 a share. then they may be holding 1,000 shares. I don't know, but I just know these whales exist because I hear about them all the time. I'm starting to read about them, and now I'm starting to believe about this. Okay, we got to deal with that too. We got to deal with computer program trading. We have to deal with options, which I know nothing about. We have to deal with all of this, but that's why you got a seatbelt on. That's why you only buy good companies. Well, I'm going to stop now because I could carry on about when I was only buying penny stocks and what happened to me then. But that's for a different story, a different day. There's two things I want you to remember. For me, I'm keeping my seatbelt on. I'm riding the roller coaster. And I'll add this just as a sideline. I'm not suggesting this, but if something gets a little bit low and I still have cash, I may buy another share or two of it. Like I mentioned I did before. I may buy one or two shares, not a lot, because I don't know how low it's going to go. And your broker's not going to tell you how low it's going to go. And he won't call you to tell you when to get back in. That's one thing I want to tell you. Second thing is, you're not holding a stock certificate. You're not holding a piece of paper. You're not holding an email that says you own something. You actually own part of that company because you are a stockholder. And number three, I want to share that I want you to drive around tomorrow if you have a chance and check out the big stores. Look at the biggest grocery stores, the drug stores, clothing stores, the malls, and ask yourself, have they closed their doors yet? Have they fired all their people? Or are they still open? And are the people still going in buying things in there? And if you own part of that company, guess what? I don't know why you'd want to get rid of it. There's a lot more I could say about when to get rid of stocks. There are times to get rid of stocks. I've had many stocks go bankrupt on me, including banks. But we're not, I've mentioned that in other videos, but right now, let's keep this thing positive. Stay on the wobbly road and don't expect any advisor or brokerage to tell you where the bottom is. It may be right now. And to get back in tomorrow morning, I could almost bet $1 million on that one, that they wouldn't tell you when to get back into your stocks, but I'm not going to bet. If you like this, feel free to hit like, and if you like this style, feel free to hit the subscribe button. And since I'm on a roll with the stock market, I may be talking about it every night if you want to tune in about this time. So Hey, this has been fun for 35 minutes. I hope I gave you some energy, and hope that things are going to be better than they ever have been before for you. God bless you. I've been doing this for 76 years. I started at 14 with my first stock. I've watched it all. Bye.